Attention, folks. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We have a prestigious guest speaker here for you to explain what it takes to be a good actor, as by design, you in the audience are all lackluster. For too long, this production company has been carried by only around 50% of its cast and crew. So, here in the flesh and blood tonight, the one and only Trade Federations.
Thank you.
To start off, we have the main cast and crew. We're trying to maximise on consistency, so we're playing 3 Madonna, 3 Curtain Raiser, 3 Wild Hope, 2 Superstar, 3 Comic Relief, 1 Sassy Rookie, 1 Funky Comedian, and 3 Extras. We're playing 2 Superstar now because there's a lot less runic around and a lot less of your deck being banished by the other player. We have the 1 Sassy Rookie as he's a very good utility card, and he's quite an unsung hero to be honest because he's quite difficult to remove, but if your opponent, say, has a Mirror Jade on field and they use it on the Sassy Rookie, then you're quite happy because he's also a very low effort card on your end to play. So either you get his good effect off or your opponent uses something very good to get rid of him, so you're happy. Funky Comedian, he is our David for the Goliath situation. He's in here for dealing with stuff like Lady Labyrinth and Dragoon, as this deck really struggles with targeted protection. I've seen some lists play Madonna at less than 3. Well, that's fine. In the style list that I run, I think you have to run 3. You'll see why later, because I play quite a lot of Floodgates. Next up, we have contributions from the writing and production teams. We've got 3 Dress Rehearsal, 2 Rise of the Abyss King, 1 Dramatic Story, 1 Abyss Tainment, and 1 Fantastic Theatre. Lots of people always say, oh, you need a bit more drama in your scripts, you need a bit more drama. But at the last minute, our good friend, the Superstar, a very well seasoned actor, was like, no, I bring the drama. We don't need any more. Always play 3 Dress Rehearsal. It is a 1 card full combo. Going first and second, it is amazing. I'm trying to cut down on the scripts as much as I can, which is why I play 4, because they are bricks and they're very searchable. You do need 2 Rise of the Abyss King because hard drawing it is sometimes quite handy, but you often do go through 2 when trying to break through a board. Or if you're going first, you'll send that one to the grave if it's not needed for the combo. You play 1 Dramatic Story because, again, it's a brick, and 1 Abyss Tainment. I would cut this card if I could. I hate drawing it. One of the games I lost during the OTS tournament was because I drew 3 scripts in my opening hand, and you just can't really do much with that. And yet, 1 Fantastic Playhouse. It sucks to draw it, but it's not the end of the world. So keep playing 1 if you're playing 1. And if you're playing more than 1, I recommend you play 1. And if you're playing 0, I don't know what you're doing. We had to do a little bit of subcontracting for the production, so we brought in 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This was just a meta call. I've got lots of branded Labyrinth at my locals. It's just generically good. It's by no means mandatory though. On the day, however, it was very, very good. For the supporting spells, we have 3 Forbidden Droplet and 3 Allure of Darkness. If you have Prosperity, play Prosperity instead of Allure of Darkness. It's just in here to dig for Floodgates, combo, board breakers, whatever you need going first or second. It's also why I played quite a high Abyss Actor count to make sure my Allure of Darkness was always live. On the day, this was actually quite a good card, but again, play Prosperity if you have it. Forbidden Droplet, it didn't come up as much on the day, but when testing, it was really good. It helps going second so much because your link monsters are basically the choke points in your combo. So if they try and imperm your Hyper Director or your Producer, for example, you can just dodge the negate with Droplet and get a negate in return. It's also good if you lose dice roll. You can set some floodgates and you set your droplet. You activate the floodgates on your opponent's turn, and if they try and negate it, you respond with droplet, presuming it's a monster negate, and you just send a monster to the grave, and it basically closes the chain there and then. So it's really good against combo decks too. The last 6 card in the main deck are 6 traps, and they are floodgates. Goes Match and Skill Drain basically do nothing to Abyss Actors. They're all dark attribute, and for Skill Drain, I don't think there's a single deck that can play better under Skill Drain than Abyss Actors. It hits pretty much every deck. Even against Labyrinth, I keep the Skill Drain in so that we can target Lady Labyrinth and take it off them. Because basically, if my opponent summons a bigger monster, I'll just go search for Madonna to get Comic Relief, scale Comic Relief, and steal the bigger monster, and then they're in trouble. It's a really good way just to slow the game down, control it, and see out a win. Lots of people out there complain about running Floodgates in this sort of deck, but to them I say, this production would be nothing without me. If the Floodgates go, I go. And talking to the producer, he wasn't willing to let that happen, so they stay in. For the extra deck, we play 2 Hyper Director and 2 Super Producer. You shouldn't need any more than that. If you do find yourself with space, I'd recommend the 3 Hyper Director over the 3 Super Producer, but again, you shouldn't need them. Dark is in there because, well, there are a lot of dark monsters in the game. It can search an Abyss Actor when destroyed, and also I'm playing some Bestials in the sideboard, and a lot of people are on Bestials at the minute, so if I steal the Magnet, I can get my side activated a bit more easily. Beyond the Pendulum is part of your big first turn combo to make Appaloosa and Vortex Dragon along with your Full Abyss Actor combo as well. But going second, she is possibly one of the best link monsters because against back row decks like Traptrix, you summon out Beyond the Pendulum, you don't use her effect, and you then summon out a Superstar, and your opponent will not see this coming, and when you summon your Superstar, they'll try and activate, say, a Floodgate Trap or something like that, which they cannot do because they cannot respond to Superstar's summon. And then Beyond the Pendulum says that when two monsters are summoned to the zones she points to that are different levels, you can destroy 2 cards on the field, so you can basically get rid of back row without response using her and Superstar together, which is a really nice combination. Nightmare Phoenix is in there in case I come across some pea-brained lowlife that's trying to play Floodgates, so I can easily get rid of them. Appaloosa is part of the main combo. Unchained Abomination, you don't need to run this card. It feels like a bit of a win more card, but I couldn't really think of any others to go in the deck. It's better than Access Code, I think, because it can interrupt on your opponent's turn if you combine it with Super Producer. And because you're blowing stuff up left, right, and center, you will just get the pops because a lot of your Link monsters in Grave are darks, so usually with Access Code you only get 1 pop anyway. Underworld Goddess is very good for removing problematic monsters when Funky Comedian is on a lunch break. We're playing DDD, Wave King Caesar, and Divisor King Deuce Machinex. This is just for an easy double negate, usually with Curtain Raiser and another level 4 on board. It comes up very, very infrequently, but it's more for when you get yourself into a grind game and you need to kind of leave some sort of board presence once you've broken your opponent's board. So it's very good for that. It also makes this fellow on the right Zeus, which is a very good card. And again, we don't even need to summon an Xyz monster. We can steal one with Comic Relief, then attack with it, and then put a Zeus on top of it. And lastly, we've got the Odd Eyes, Absolute, and Vortex Dragons. These are part of your going first combo. You summon out the Vortex Dragon using Absolute Dragon, and it's just a free Omni Negate, which is very nice. Here is the sideboard. Lots of Labyrinth hate in here. The only thing that doesn't go in against Labyrinth is the Opening Ceremony and the Shifters. Labyrinth is our worst matchup, so why not prepare for it? Baldrake is very good in this deck because all your cards are dark, so you can use him as a very good banish. Again, he combos well with the dark, summoning back your Magnamut too. Denkosek is in there for Labyrinth and I guess Traptrix as well. It's exceptionally good against Labyrinth because their level 4 monster, I believe, is 1600 attack, which means they cannot deal with this very easily at all. If you just go main phase, summon this out, you should win that game because you can just pop the back row through other means too. Dimension Shifter is in there because we can still OTK through D-Shifter. I'll only put it in going first if Dimension Shifter really kills the deck that I'm facing against. Also works well with Allure of Darkness. Playing 3 Cosmic Cyclone for back row, mostly Labyrinth again. However, a lot of decks will post-siding put in some sort of Floodgate because they can't think of anything better because they're not very smart. And then we've got Opening Ceremony. This is in here because every act needs an Opening Ceremony and every person needs a card for time because a lot of people like to slow play. Then we've got more back row hate, Lightning Storm and Duster. Lightning Storm can act as a board wipe as well, just depends on what deck you're up against. But these all worked really well. I was very, very pleased with how the side deck did. Every card came in handy except the Opening Ceremony because most of my games were over within about half an hour max, which was quite nice.
Hopefully that was somewhat informative for you all. We will now be taking questions from the audience, but for those of you who are leaving us now, we bid you a good day.